For more than a decade, FTI has strived to become the leader in the aftermarket performance transmission and converter industry. We've joined forces with McLeod driveline components under the leadership of Top Fuel Funny Car pilot Paul Lee, and now have a larger distribution network, more resources, and more power. Come see us in the pits and ask how you can join the FTI family. It's not cheating, it is the competitive edge.
I'm Steve Torrence, four-time NHRA Top Fuel World Champion. And when me and these Capco boys win races, we go straight WFO.
This is WFO Radio.
Hey everybody, WFO, welcome back. Following up race 2 of the Western Swing, the DENSO Sonoma Nationals. I'm Joe Castello, and we got a great show for you. It's going to be kind of interesting, though, for many factors. So you're going to want to share this one because, craziness could happen. Like, number one, I am still not fully recovered, right, from a great weekend, an amazing weekend, and I'm excited to see how this all goes. But also, our WFO studios, we always talk about how, sunny South Florida and how we're in the beautiful South Florida paradise. And it's kind of fun, especially in January, to do such things. Right now, though, it is not fun because all around us right now, we are in a wicked thunder and lightning storm. So, will we retain power? Will the battery backups hold? Oh, man, you got to check it out and stay and watch and see. If they were to not, well, we'll catch up next week and we'll redo everything in the future. And we'll make sure all our interviews get out there. But we've got on-location interviews with Joey Gladstone. I know everybody wants to see Joey, Brittany Force, Bob Tasca, and Erica, and some other stuff from the track that I just, now that I'm, out there, and we can't schedule everybody for this deal in between races with 2 days. We're doing some stuff from the winter circle, and it's been really cool as the camera technology has evolved and all of that stuff. So you're going to love that. I know you're going to love it. And then we'll have Alan Reinhart on the show, going to be joining us. It's going to be great. I appreciate everybody out there weighing in. I do want to tell you about the sponsors, but before I do, I want to tell you about something that happened last week that, we try to honor those who love and are passionate about the sport. And I want to tell you about my friend Paul Wunderlich. This is Paul. Paul Wunderlich is a South Florida drag racing icon, legend. I don't know how to say it other than beloved by everyone, right? You know how there are people that are loved by many and hated by some for whatever reason, right? Like, I don't like the fact that everybody likes that guy. Paul was universally liked. Now, I posted this picture because everyone will remember Paul from Miami Hollywood Speedway, 1967 to 1992, then Moroso Motorsports Park, the 5-day bracket races all through the 80s. If you're a classic bracket racer, an old school bracket racer from the days, you remember Paul. Kevin McKenna said it, probably the second most famous guy in a hat. And I don't even remember who the first most famous guy in a hat was in his example. That's how famous Paul's hat was. And this guy loved drag racing. He worked at Miami Hollywood. He worked at Moroso. He's worked all over South Florida, County Line Dragway. Homestead Miami Speedway was his final and most recent gig. We lost Paul last week, pretty much right as the show was going on the air. The family was still putting out the word. And the guy was beloved. He's one of those guys in every community and every track that took control and ran things, came up with ideas, and was just amazing, and worked there when I got my first job at Miami Hollywood Speedway in 1990. And I was like a 15-year-old kid, and they would make us do our homework. Me and my good friend Dave Hoxie, like, is your homework done? Oh man, we're up there in the second floor of the tower doing some homework, or looking like it, wiggling a pen, looking like it. No, we did our homework mostly. And then they let us race, and I track announced for the very first time there. And Paul was a great friend and a wonderful man and a devoted fan of drag racing. So I just wanted to tell you guys about him because he's kind of a local phenomenon. The racers who bracket race at the 5-day bracket race or Moroso or Miami Hollywood over the years in the 80s and 90s definitely know and engage with Paul. Paul was a good guy. But also, Paul sat in our Miami Hollywood Speedway reunion happy hour show with Daryl Gwynn and Hector Arana and Chris Cunningham during the pandemic. And that is in our YouTube channel. So if you want to go to WFO Radio TV's YouTube channel, I'll put the link up there. Right. Yeah. Right. Like now I'm asking you to subscribe to something. I feel terrible. Like, I've got something cool you want to see with this guy, but you got to subscribe to WFO to do it. and it becomes a self-serving exercise, which there's no other way around it. I'm sorry, Paul. But Paul told some great stories about the original 4-wide drag racing at Miami Hollywood and that tree back there and all kinds of great stuff. So in your free time, go check out Paul and Daryl Gwynn and Chris Cunningham and Hector Arana on our Miami Hollywood Speedway Reunion Happy Hour show, which is on our YouTube channel. Where on the channel, Joe? You go digging around a little bit for it, right? Because we got so much content, like over 700 videos, and we're over 1,500 subscribers now, by the way. We're getting there for being a little late to the game. People out there know Paul. Paul was a great guy. May he rest in peace. Even the kids at Fastlane Friday at Homestead, Miami. And I wasn't there. It was this past Friday. Obviously, I was in Sonoma. But they wrote in shoe polish all over their windows, rest in peace, Paul, and all of that. So, yes, Paul, rest in peace. I miss you, buddy. Like, I miss you already. We all do. Great man. And genuine, icon, legend, the biggest accolade you can possibly come up with for a single person involved in the sport of drag racing. He was holding it down for South Florida. All right, Reinhardt's a couple minutes away. I'm going to play these videos, but I want to welcome a new sponsor and talk about our sponsors. Bernie's Speed Shop on board. Bernie's of Ocala, Florida. A-plus restorations. That's their number one thing. Muscle cars. But they have got a lot of things that they do. Movie props. Whatever you might need. If you're looking for that place to do the restoration, frame off perfection that is so popular these days, Bernie's Speed Shop in Ocala, Florida. Obviously, this is a Josh Hart company, and we've heard about Bernie's, but now you're going to be hearing about Bernie's on a regular basis here on WFO, and we're going to do some good stuff with them because they need to be known a little bit more, right? Like the specifics. It's not so much awareness of them, but what they do, because I know we've got a lot of our listeners out there that are very interested. So first and foremost, the thing you can do for us is go and like their Facebook page. Bernie Speed Shop on Facebook. They're also on Twitter, and you can go to their website and find both of them. Instagram, Bernies.com. BURNYZZ. BURNYZZ.com. Bernie Speed Shop. And I'm real excited about telling you about Bernie's and what they're going to be doing for a little while now. It's going to be pretty cool. Bernie Speed Shop. And thanks to Josh Hart for coming on board. Of course, Phillips Connect. They had an army of people out there at the race. Phillips-Connect.com. The transportation industry, take note. Smart trailer technology, whether it be pre-checks or temperatures or track and trailer pairing, like all these sensors. Jim Epler has put so much time and effort in his professional career into making this go, and Phillips is on board, and they've got some really good things going in the National Hot Rod Association because we have so many people in the trailer and transportation technology industry. So check them out, Phillips-Connect.com, and we'll be educating you, and they'll be educating us, frankly, as the year goes on with all of their great programs with Phillips-Connect.com. Also want to tell you about our great friends, and this one's important, Total Seal Piston Rings. Now, yeah, Joe, we know all about Total Seal and Hartford out there. He won a week ago. But this week, right here, in fact, tomorrow, Total Seal and Rottler have kind of a really good working partnership and relationship. Rottler, the machine, and Total Seal, the ring, that helps you get excellent ring seal. There is a Rottler open house tomorrow at Rottler Enterprise. You are a machinist, you're an engine builder, you're in the Great Northwest, you're a sportsman racer. You're going to want to go. Hartford's going to have the car on display. It's going to be awesome. But also, Rottler is on the side of the Total Seal car this weekend, going to be schemed up Rottler again. And there's going to be 2 trackside tech talks, one on Friday, one on Saturday up in Seattle. Ed Keebler from Rottler, who is the North American sales manager guru for ring seal, is going to be there for honing. And so we're going to have a good exercise, but you probably want to find out all about this. And if you don't, I don't think you're that serious about finding that hidden horsepower. That's where we tell you about the Hidden Horsepower podcast. Ed Keebler from Rottler was our guest. That episode is up. All the information about honing techniques, the secret sauce, the open house, the addresses, the phone numbers, where and when, and all of this stuff is going to be happening all on the Hidden Horsepower podcast for Total Seal. So go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast, download Hidden Horsepower. And yeah, pressure's on for Hartford this weekend. Rottler car, Rottler open house, Rottler on location with like 80 people, and Hartford is the defending race winner at Pacific Raceways because we haven't been there since 2019. So super exciting week for Total Seal. Go check out that podcast. And we very much appreciate everybody out there for doing so. FTI Performance Transmissions and Torque Converters, all the big money bracket racing going on. They have got such great success out there with Power Glide transmissions, but also for top sportsmen, top dragster, pro mod, automatics for the most part. FTI is all about automatics and torque converters, whereas McLeod, they handle the manual stuff. But FTIperformance.com, go check them out. Paul Lee and Krista Baldwin doing a great job with their social and management. FTIperformance.com. Later on in the show, I'll tell you about samtech.edu. I'll tell you about Frank Hawley's drag racing school. I will tell you about all of those guys and Marvin Rodak and RodaxCoffeeandGrills.com, because I had my first Rodax coffee for the first time in several days today, and I am feeling it, loving it, actually. But now let's go back out to the winner's circle. We're going to have Reinhardt. We're going to break down the race. We're going to preview Seattle, but let's catch up first off with Bob Tasca, because Bob Tasca made 3 finals in a row. And this has been a team that has been emerging, and we've been talking about it, but Robert Hight stood in his way, and Robert Hight has been a nemesis, beating him in back-to-back finals, and which is, 3 in a row. That's always tough. But Bob Tasca breaks through. The whole fam has been out there. Let's catch up with BT3 from Sonoma. Oh, BT3.875. Your new name. What do you think of that?
0.87. That was a pretty good name right there. I tell you, this car was lights out all day long. Dominant performance by this motorcraft team. Exciting to be back in the winner's circle. I apologize to all the Ford fans out there. Took us a little while, but we got a race car right now that can run with the best of them. And that's all we're focused on, is getting ready for the playoffs and having a car that can run with the top of the field. And I think we put them on notice this weekend.
Yeah, when the weather is good, right? It's been all talking about Robert and Hagen. And was that like hurting you, or did you know this was coming?
Talking about Robert sweeping the swing. I said,
that was my fault. No, I did that.
That
was my fault.
Sweeping, but he ain't sweeping the swing this trip. But hey, listen, Robert, they're the gold standard out there. We're all aiming for him. Incredible performance. Really, to be honest with you, drove us to get the setup that we have right now. We knew we needed to run hard early, and we did that on Saturday night. It was kind of the turning point for this team, and we ran lights out all day long.
All right, let's tell me about this. Okay. You guys have been on the tour. The fam has been together.
He's been torturing me. Saturday, before the last round, you know what my son Cameron tells me? He goes, Dad, this is embarrassing. I came all the way to California to see you shake and smoke the tires. I'm like, Cam, you think we're trying to do this? You think we're trying not to run good? But you know something? Mike Neff and John Schaefer, I give them so much credit. They came in here with a whole new setup. And Saturday night, going into that last run, they had a little smirk on their face, and they knew what they were about to run out there. And we just backed it up all day long today. I'm excited about getting to Seattle. I haven't been there in a long time. Get ready. This motorcraft car is coming on strong. And, it's all building, to the last 6 races of the year, which we run for the championship.
Does Cam get to go?
Maybe Seattle you go.
All right, what's the real story, Cam? This is your time now.
The real story is he wants me back at work, so we're going to see what happens.
Go sell some cars. Oh, no, I'm saying it wrong. Go sell some cars.
Go sell some cars. Fords. We need to sell some Fords.
There you go. Congratulations, guys. Thank you. There they go. There they go, the Tascas. They are leaning on their poor dad is what they're doing. They're leaning on their dad. As, you're embarrassing us, Dad. You're embarrassing us. Which is fine. That's what kids are supposed to do to their dad. They're supposed to tell their dad, hey, Dad, you're embarrassing us. And you know what? They went out and they got the job done, which is very impressive. Uh-oh. Maybe we had that lightning strike. No, there we are. We're back. Yeah, it's getting a little dicey around here. I warned you. I got lightning bolts all coming around me. We're going to keep on going, though. And from my end, who knows what's happening out there, but we're going to keep on going. I see Reinhardt is connected, but what must it be like for Bob and Terry? They got a bunch of little mini Bobs out there running all around. All right. So Brittany Force, dominating victory. I can't think of a more dominating victory than resetting the track record multiple times, quicker once, and then faster and faster and faster. Let's see what Brittany Force had to say after it was all over. We're doing this. This is a moment, bringing the audience behind the scenes into the making of the WFO interview with Brittany Force. So you can stop wherever you want, and this is your winner interview. Robert said it was so important last week that we do it because it's a tradition to be on WFO after you win. You just won. Boy, what a win this was for you, Britt. you ran everybody, like all the hitters. You ran them and beat them. How's that? How was that?
It's incredible. This Sonoma racetrack is a track I've been coming to since I was a kid. Ran Supercomp here, ran A-Field here. It's a track that's been on my bucket list. I've always wanted to win here. So the fact that our team came out, and honestly I could say we dominated. We ran 66s, 67s, 70 in the final round all day long. David Grubnick, Max Savage, it's all that flavor pack team. They are incredible. They pushed, we've been struggling, and we freaking turned it around this weekend in Sonoma, and very proud of all of them. Very proud we turned 4 win lights on and got to the winner's circle.
What's it like? Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. We just like froze it right up. What's that all about? Just froze right up. We'll just move on and we'll get back to that one. What's it like to dominate so much, Brittany? And yeah, again, everybody, South Florida lightning country down here. It's like when you're in the desert and one of those haboobs pop up. I want to get to the interview that everybody is going to be just, so excited to see, which is, we're having all kinds of technical issues here. Stay with us, guys. This is going to be one of those shows where for whatever reason, we've got power flickers and you might see me get shocked. You might see me get shocked right here on the air. Joey Gladstone. Let's try to check in with Joey Gladstone and see exactly what this one is all about. All right, I don't know what's going to happen. We're getting experimental here. The first WFO winner interview for Joey Gladstone, and I'm just coming in. I'm just busting in. I'm just kind of like busting in on this guy with WFO interview. This is it. This is your winner interview here. Joey Gladstone, we'll get you on the show. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. All right, Joe, how does this feel?
That's everything I ever imagined and hoped for. I spent 20 years wondering what this would be like and if I'd ever get there, and now that it's here, it makes all that 20 years worth it. I'll tell you that. This is a badass sport, and I race against badass people, and I wouldn't want it any other way. My team is fantastic. We have a great time.
Yeah, get him. This is it. That's Michael.
Mike.
That's Michael
Thanks,
Phillips.
Mike.
Michael Phillips. Look at everybody. It's Dave.
We're family. Hey, I gotta give a shout out to Michael Phillips for keeping not only my bike, not only keep my bike cool, but keeping me cool all day and being a great racing coach. And this is amazing. This is amazing. Congratulations, Reed Motorsports. This is awesome.
First round, it's almost not going to fire.
Yeah.
What about that? Like, tell me through the range of emotions in that 10 seconds or whatever it was.
Well, it wouldn't fire up. It fired up, but it wouldn't take throttle. So I figured, TPS, the TPS switches, something's wrong. But then I remembered once I cut it off and it almost gave up, I remembered we'd never unplug our TPS. Nothing should be wrong. No wires should be broken. So I went to the only wires I could reach, and we shook them around, and ended up working. But what happened was there was for my clutch switch wires, there was an exposed wire, and there's right next to carbon fiber, which is highly conductive. So it was shorting out on it. We moved the wires away from it, got us by that round, fixed it, and it worked out. The race guys were smiling. What did Cory say to you? Like, what did you guys say after the road you guys have traveled? We just smiled and hugged and told each other that we love each other, because we do.
Look at what's going on over here.
Next question.
Yeah, they told you were going to win today. What did you think when they said, like, there was a group of people that said you were going to win, and you blew them off? Well, you said you were going to go 40 red.
No.
And then the bike wouldn't start, and some of those people, I won't say who, had a heart attack thinking, yeah, you're going to be jinxed because of that.
No, it's, in drag racing, when it's your day, and sometimes when the day starts out like that, it ends up going your way. So I'm just proud of my team for keeping a cool head and not letting that get to us, not letting that beat us, and persevering.
Joe, congratulations. You'll get a real interview in the future, but this one I think is pretty cool. What do you guys think? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Way to go.
Thank you.
Joey Gladstone with us here on WFO Radio, and that was just so well deserved, so long coming, so amazing to see Joey do that. And I know what people are probably saying. Well, what about Cory Reed? What about Cory? We're back on. We're going to talk to this guy. We got to talk to this guy. He doesn't want to talk to me before final round interviews. Now we can talk. Cory, all right, just talk, man. This is big. You've been working for this for a long time. We find out that Cory has got a big head.
No,
we just found out. I'm kidding. You got very.
Actually, I wear a medium-sized helmet.
Oh, really?
Joey's got a big head. He wears a size large. Yeah.
Well, that tells the
growing
tale.
by the minute too.
That tells the tale.
Nah,
the size of the helmet, right? Like that's it. All right.
That's
So
what matters.
big deal. How meaningful?
That's what we've been working for.
For a long time. Like this has been a project
6
coming
years
for a long
me
time.
now.
Yeah.
5 for Joey. But overall though, this is our dream. For both of us as kids, we always wanted to grow up and race motorcycles. Whatever form it was, Eddie's trying to sneak behind.
All right, let's do it. Oh, there it is. Oh, look, Eddie Freeway.
Taking the
Wow.
motor. He's taking
Oh,
the
that's
winning
it?
motor. No, it's not. It's still the bike. It ain't coming out. That'll be in Topeka and hopefully for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's a
That'd be
bummer
nice.
that we don't get you guys next week, but you get to be winners
Yeah,
for a
I'd
long
love
time.
to. I've always said that from day one and started doing this. I was like, I'd love to win a broom, but you can't win a broom unless you do the whole Western swing. So it's they kind of kill it, but oh well.
Most importantly, I think everybody's super happy for you to see how you've, that incident last year kind of like nothing is permanent, right? We got to savor it, and
for sure.
everyone is savoring this one with you guys.
It happens quick on a motorcycle too, so it's like, it's bitter. I don't know. You always get on the thing knowing it could happen. So, Joe, I broke a lot of bones in my life. So has Joey. We both crashed motorcycles here and there and done a lot of stuff. I don't know. That one was pretty bad. And right now, I guess am I older? I'm not sure. Is that what that would be? But causing it, this injury made me become more like emotional about things. Also having a baby, I think too. But sitting in the hospital a long time and being so involved with everything now, it's a lot.
Well, you deserve it.
Emotion.
Well, and you know what? Not just for you, for the people around you.
No.
Like everybody got closer. Like Cory was, a cool guy that we all knew, and then it's different because there's that whole NHRA is a family thing. It kind of is.
Yeah, absolutely. Even competitors like Matt, one of our hardest competitors, and he's hard nosed most of the time too. He, called me the night of and made sure every week checked in, all that type of stuff. They all do, and it's really nice. And what happened?
Done blowed up. That's it. Done blowed up. Cory, congratulations, man. Great win. Big deal. Big deal. WFO. Thanks. There we go. There we go. How great is that? The emotion. And I'm just so happy to be able to capture that. And hopefully you guys are enjoying seeing this. And in this situation, it's really the best we can do, given that we're going back out pretty much Thursday to Pacific Raceways and the Flavor Pack Northwest Nationals. And we're going to do it all again, right? The Western Swing. That is what it is all about, the Western Swing. So we heard from Cory. We heard from Joey. We heard from Brittany halfway. But what about Erica Enders, who is as dominant as anyone out there? And Erica, I don't want to say she hates not being on the show, but she is like earning these visits on the show. We're here with Erica. Oh, no. Oh, no. What's up, E?
Hi, Joe.
This is the interview, right? This is it. Yeah, because,
Like Norwalk, Sonoma combined, maybe?
Exactly.
No.
She keeps track. No, you get to come back, but
Okay.
we were so busy, right? You're headed to Seattle. I'm headed to Seattle. You won. This was a big one. Look at that.
So cool.
How'd you do it?
My boys, man, they're badass. When their backs are against the wall, they perform every time. And, we've got the hot rod to beat right now. And there were some interesting things that happened today, but no matter what, we parked the Melling Performance Chevy Camaro in the winner's circle. And to do it against GA in the finals was pretty significant.
You do have the hot rod to beat. Like, that's what a weird feeling, because that doesn't usually happen in pro stock, like dominating performances.
No, it doesn't. It'll definitely change. The pendulum swings in different directions at different times, and you got to ride the wave as long as you can. But I feel like my guys have worked so tremendously hard for this. With the fashion that we were beat for the championship last year, they went to work, and we came out swinging. They came out swinging in the horsepower department, and I came out swinging as a driver. I said I'm going to race mad this year, and we're doing it. No negative connotation to it, but just be mean and treat it. You never know when it's your last, so treat it like it's your last, and see if you can capitalize on every situation that you can. And this is 18 years coming here at Sonoma. This has been a goal of mine for a very long time. Every New Year's we set the goals, and Sonoma's always on the list, Indy's always on the list, and the World Championship is. So to finally do it after almost 2 decades of trying it, it means the world to me.
All right, this is just a filler interview till the next time we can get you when we're all back at home. Congratulations.
Thank you, WFO listeners. We love you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, E.
Yep.
Erica Enders after a tremendous victory. And those Enders girls, they know how to celebrate, right? You saw them in Joey Gladstone's pit, and I'm going to tell you that story in a minute. All right, we got one more. We got one more, then we're going to go to Reinhart, which, I want to get this Brittany Force interview up and running. I want to get this thing going because we got to hear from Brittany. It's stalled out in the middle. Let's see if we can make it happen. Now, this is it. We're doing this. This is a moment, bringing the audience behind the scenes into the making of the WFO interview with Brittany Force. So you can stop wherever you want, and this is your winner interview. Robert said it was so important last week that we do it because it's a tradition to be on WFO after you win. You just won. Boy, what a win this was for you, Britt. You ran everybody, all the hitters. You ran them and beat them. How's that? How was that?
It's incredible. This Sonoma racetrack is a track I've been coming to since I was a kid. Ran Super Comp here, ran A-Field here. It's a track that's been on my bucket list. I've always wanted to win here. So the fact that our team came out, and honestly I could say we dominated. We ran 66s, 67s, 70 in the final round all day long. David Grubnick, Max Savage, it's all that flavor pack team. They are incredible. They pushed, we've been struggling, and we freaking turned it around this weekend in Sonoma, and very proud of all of them. Very proud we turned 4 win lights on and got to the winner's circle.
What's it like to struggle with that team, right? It's kind of a weird question because you haven't felt that for a while.
You have your ups and downs. You're never just going to constantly go up. You're going to come down at some point, and it's about every single one of those guys. We all pull together. The weekends where I completely screw up, which I've done it plenty of times, they pat me on the back and put it behind us. Don't worry, we'll be behind. They're right there with me, always. And when it goes the other way, we're all one team at the end of the day. Yes, we want to win, but through the struggles, we pull together. We're one team. I love those guys. They're family. And, we'll fight through it no matter what.
In the media center, a couple of guys asked you some questions that, we really don't ask too much because it becomes routine, right? You're going 330 mile per hour all the time. But, wow, 335, 336, 337. You get to do something that nobody else gets to do, accelerate like that. What was that like, having such a fast car this weekend?
It's really to be able to come out of qualifying where we only got 1 out of the 3 runs, which again we still learned on those 2 other runs where we didn't get down there. It was kind of pushing to see how far we could go, so we still learned from them. It was still positive at the end of the day, but to be able to come out and really step it up on race day, I've done that with this team before, and that's what's so incredible about them, how strong they are, that you could step up on race day when conditions are different. You have all the stress and just the added, it is race day, and to be able to step it up and continue that all day long is just incredible. 66, 67, 70, like I said earlier, I'm very proud of everybody involved. It took all of us. I can't pinpoint one person. It's every single one of these guys. Proud of all of them. We all deserve this winner's circle.
Yeah,
today.
the queen of speed. You have 9 of the top 10 fastest runs ever. That is pretty amazing. Going to Seattle, haven't been there since 2019. Yeah. Dad got 150. I'm
had his first win.
Super excited to see those folks up there. I am, and I know you've got to be too because it's been a while. But also the flavor pack race. Yeah. You're the flavor pack car. That's one that you want to get. So talk a little bit about Seattle.
Yeah, I'm excited to head to Seattle. It's another one, close to home. So it's I raced Super Comp, raced A-Field there. Never won there before. Been in many winner circles there with the JFR teams, but we've never done it. So going in, we're coming off a high note. We're coming off a win. We want to do it again. We want to win again. Going into qualifying, it's pushing to go for that number 1. Top 3 is always goal, and coming out Saturday, figuring out the car to get us prepared for Sunday. We want to win. It's a flavor pack race. It's Frank Tees and his whole team involved. They're the reason we're out here. I love all of them. Proud to represent them, and we want to get them in another winner's circle.
All right. Did you chug the wine, or did you sip the wine, or what'd you do?
I tried to chug it. I'll tell you, it's hard after getting out of your race car after just being on this high all day, and then you have to chug wine. If it were Chardonnay, it'd be a little different. I tried to chug it, poured half of it in a fan's mouth. So thank you to him for helping me out. And I'm probably a little buzzed right now in this interview. So
all right, all right. Congratulations, Brittany.
Now.
That's right. Go celebrate, Brittany. Thank you so much, WFO.
Thank you.
There she goes, Brittany Force, WFO. She's a little buzzed, and she's like, "Is that okay to say to be buzzed in the interview?" Yeah, I think so. I think people love the idea that Brittany Force was a little buzzed. All right, I got one more video I'll play after we talk to Reinhardt. We're going to get Reinhardt back. I'm going to check and see what everybody's saying out there. Congratulations to all the winners out there. Brittany's 33 reaction time in the final round was badass. Definitely. Cory and Joey, salt of the earth. So happy to see them get a well-deserved win. Yes, that was tremendous. I think everybody. I'll tell you the story about the prediction a little later. But right now, the voice of the NHRA, Alan Reinhardt from Tucson, Arizona. What's up, AR? Sorry to make you wait. We had a little lightning-related technical glitch here in the WFO studio, but now we're good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I noticed Brittany didn't mention that she broke her wine goblet.
She told me after. Yeah. Bummer, man.
You know, it was really kind of, I thought it was funny. She was like, "Oh!" And I thought, that's going to be so much better of a story. Because when it's in the trophy case, everybody comes by is going to go, "What happened to that?" And then you can tell the story about, I mean, she literally had a guy standing off the side of the stage like this, and she went.
Yeah, there's a photo of that on our screen, by the way. Facebook users, go to our Facebook page, like the page, and you'll see it. Great shot. I forget who it was. It might have been Mark Gewertz, I think, who got it. Midair droplets going into this guy's mouth. It's pretty amazing how he caught the shot. But what a race, Alan. What a race. Like, just starting off with Brittany and those speed records. Record. Getting quicker and faster. 33 in the final round. They came to win. And I wonder, is that what we're going to see when we have good tracks and good weather?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it all along when we've got good tracks and good weather. David Grubnick has a combination that runs big speed. And he has figured out something that obviously nobody else has because he's the only one that's doing it. If it was a matter of, oh, well, all we have to do is just tweak this and our car will run 335 miles an hour, everybody would. Because when the car runs like that, it's not hurting itself. When the car's running like that, it's running happy and it's not hurting itself. So, and he's gotten in trouble when he's tried to back it down. And, it's like, well, geez, we need to pull back. And it's like taking a thoroughbred and telling him to trot. If the thing is happy running like that, let it run like that. And as long as the racetracks and the weather will take it, then he's going to send it. He's got himself a really good race car right now.
Yeah, and the challenge for the other teams, you had Mike Salinas in the other lane. I spoke with Mike after it was over, and he says, we were really, trying to run a 68 in the final, and whatever. We're still happy. We're still working on it. But these other teams have to be shaking their heads a little bit, Alan. Just the speed and that back half that the Monster and Flavor Pack car can run, and now Brittany's got her lights in the right spot. Right? She can cut a 30 reaction time. She might have been a little bit deep. She said in the media center on that double bulb against Steve, she goes, I don't know. Was that a mistake or did I do it on purpose? I don't know. It's like, so even using whatever it might have been for gamesmanship, I think it's all clicking for Brittany Force right now.
It is. And when you've got a car that runs like that gives you a lot of confidence as a driver that you can go up and maybe get out of your routine a little bit or try something different because you've got so much confidence in your car. When you're pulling into the staging beam, and we've talked about it before with different drivers and situations, when you're pulling into the staging beams and you go, okay, first light, wonder what's going to happen when I hit the gas this time.
Right.
You just can't get into that zone. But when you pull in there and you go, okay, that's Steve. I got a better car than he's got. Well, let's just do this. And not worrying about, not being in your routine, or maybe if it throws you off 100 or a couple of hundreds, because you've got so much confidence in the car. That puts the driver in a good frame of mind.
It really does. Amazing, the speeds, and they were super excited. And we'll see, right? They don't have far to go. But this is the one they want to win. She says she's never won there. Seattle, been to many John Force Racing winner's circles. Flavor Pack on the car, Flavor Pack on the race. Frank Teagues has been at the race the past several weeks and loving it. And so there's a little extra incentive right there. That'll be fun to see, right? When there's like, no, this is the one we want to win. We want to win this one. Let's go do it. If they can, man, that'll be a signal. That'll be a signal to lots. They're the favorite, though. They went to sleep for a little bit, but I think they're still the favorite.
Well, like I said, they certainly showed last weekend that they've got their race car back. And, watching the replays and watching the stuff, and it never even looked like it was in trouble. It's not like it's quivering the tire. It's not like it's so close to not making it. It's not. It looks like the car's really happy right now. But we had 75-degree weather. We had 109-degree racetrack or 99-degree racetrack or 89-degree racetrack. And Seattle's going to be a little bit warmer. Seattle's going to be a little bit different, so there's going to be adjustments made, but they definitely look like they've got a happy race car right now.
Tony's out there imploring people to hit like, especially on YouTube, and share the show. And I would agree. I think you're getting really unique content here today. Those golden special moments with the drivers and the Joey Gladstone thing. I can't wait to talk to you about it. But any final thoughts on Top Fuel? You know, the drivers who are struggling, I think, is also a story. I want to say, you know, good weekend for the Capco team. Everybody who's been saying, you know, Capco. They went down the track, every run in qualifying. They put up a 68 and just got beat. Simple as that. Just got beat by the car that is the best car. So Capco, I don't know. If I'm them, I'm feeling I'm unhappy that I lost, but I'm feeling like I got a car that I can race with.
Well, I think they do. And, you know, he had an 8:14 60-foot time. So, that's, you know, Richard Hogan seems to be the king of that, kind of like David Grubnick's got a handle on the speed thing. And since those two guys are such good friends and live in Montana together, maybe they'll get together and have a beer and go, okay, you tell me how you get yours to go 8:02, and I'll tell you how I get mine to go 3:35, and then we will crush the life out of the rest of them. But no, the Capco guys have always had a good car. It's not like they've been qualifying 15th and going out first round. They've always had a solid car. The rest of the field has simply caught up, and you know they've been very upfront about it. We are going to try to find something. We are going to experiment, see if we can get our cushion back, get our performance, and we know we're going to give away some races early in the season. You know, it was also Doug Colette's best weekend of the year. He gets to the semifinals and then ends up smoking the tires. So that's another one that is kind of directionally correct. But we've, all year long, who's been winning the races? Well, Brittany Force and Mike Salinas. Okay, who had the two best cars on Sunday? Brittany Force and Mike Salinas. Who raced in the final? You know, so those two still look like they are out in front of the field a little bit, with Brittany maybe being a little bit out in front of Mike right now. But those two cars look like the best two cars in the field, and I think they proved it again this week.
What's up with Doug Colette's car and the burnout, Alan? It sounds like Alan Johnson's got that thing hopped up. It's way louder. The RPMs are way higher. It looks like the Goodyears that come slinging off the rims, and it appears by design. What's going on there, do you think?
Yeah, that's always been more of a Coletta thing than an Alan Johnson thing. Alan Johnson's cars have never done the really high RPM burnouts. They've always been just simple and controlled, and you know it's all about getting rid of the variable, keeping everything as under control as you can. I'm a little surprised, but you know I'm certainly not going to second guess Alan. You look at the races and championships he's won, so if he's happy with that, then God bless him. But the Coletta cars have always done very hard, very high RPM burnouts, and Doug always seems to roll through the water very slow as well, so when he hits the gas, the car basically jumps off the ground to start the thing.
It really did, and it was intense. It was intense this weekend. And Lonnie mentioning it, you know, Antron Brown, wow, just the struggles continue. AB has said they've made many test runs. They've been working on stuff. They're picking us up. Just another very challenged weekend.
And I'm surprised that, you know, they haven't snapped out of it. You know, Leah's team finally looks like they're hitting their stride. They've got a car now that's a whole lot happier than it was early in the season. And, you know, at some point, Antron's going to do the same thing. We're just waiting to find out when.
Exactly. Another Top Fuel note that we got to mention, Joe Maynard of Joe and Kathy Maynard, the Maynard Family Foundation, has taken over a controlling interest in the you know, I don't know exactly the details of what, but the team that Tony Schumacher drives for, I understand is the case. I think that's great because Joe, I don't know how much you've gotten to hang with this guy, but he's a great person. And I've spent, you know, an hour hanging out with him here and there a couple times over the past few years. And I'm excited to see what they do with that. And I'm happy that they wanted to do that.
Well, he's wanted to get more involved. And I think Don is getting to the point where he wants to be a little bit less involved, especially with the race team. And as I read the press release and from some of the conversations I've been privy to, you know, Don still owns his manufacturing facility, his machine shop, all of this stuff, but he's kind of backing away from the race team a little bit. And I think after all that he's done, he certainly doesn't have anything left to prove on the racetrack. And I don't know how excited he was or how big he wanted to try to get back to maybe 5 cars, 6 cars, 7 cars again, because he's just kind of winding down a little bit. You know, he's got other things that he wants to do, wants to spend some time on his boat, wants to do, and, you know, let's face it, he ain't getting any younger. None of us are. And I think that, you know, the race team, with all the travel and all the headaches and all the sponsor and all the other stuff, was something that he wanted to back away from a little bit. just to take some of that responsibility off of his shoulders. Joe Maynard wanted to step up and wanted to jump in, and I will be very surprised if we don't have an announcement or two by Indy about the race team expanding. Maybe another top fuel car, maybe getting back in the funny car business. I don't know, but I do believe that Joe Maynard and Kathy Maynard want the race team to expand. And again, maybe not to be as big as it used to be, but I think that there's going to be some news coming out of there by the time we get to the U.S. National Circuit.
I certainly hope so. And that will be more good news for drag racing, right? More cars. Let's bring in more cars. And then let's cause the qualified crew chief problem to become even more challenging. And then we'll get some more people. Are you wearing a Pete Bothy t-shirt? Is that what that is? I see.
Oh, well, sort of.
Drag racing.
It's a division championship t-shirt.
Okay. There's not too many white Porsche Super Gas drag racers.
Yeah, it's the Division 1.90 championship.
Oh, okay.
When you're the Division 1 announcer, you get stuff like that.
Oh, okay. That's kind of interesting. A little Porsche stuff. Getting a little quizzical. Funny car, Bob Tasca. Wow. 3 finals in a row, and they get to run Robert and kind of exercise the demons and make a statement and all of that stuff. And I feel bad because, first of all, I don't really feel bad. Robert said what he said, and it was interpreted by many people.
Actually, by the way, just for the record, that's Keith Mayer. That's not Pete.
Okay, that's Keith Mayers. Okay, that's what I'm wondering. So it's gray. It's gray, not white. Gray shirt. I get it. The 2 Porsche driving guys, 1 on each coast. And just, I don't know if you watch Attention in the Pits, Alan, but Keith Mayers is open to a best of 7 match race between them for money. Wouldn't that be fun?
Sure. Where?
Well, I think there's only one place to do it. Right in the middle, right? Little sub-indie stuff.
Topeka's close to the middle, but whatever.
Yeah, I guess Topeka is closer. We got to get them both there. But I like it. The guys with the Porsches, you can find that on Attention in the Pits. But Robert made a statement. We're going to try to sweep the Western Swing. And Bob says he's sweeping, but he's not sweeping the swing. And having a little fun. But okay now, Bob Tasca and that Motorcraft team, huge statement. They got to back it up this weekend. But huge statement with those 87s, right? They can run with the best of them now.
Well, they've made those runs this year, mostly on Monday, but they haven't been able to take their testing success and get it to translate into, the racing, the Saturday and Sunday racing, when it really counts. This past weekend, they're dumping my dumpster. You're hearing loud sounds in the background.
I got lightning. You got today is just that.
Tuesday's trash day at Wild West Engineering, where they come and dump the dumpster. But they've been making those runs, and it was kind of interesting because I spoke to Bob in depth, and Friday they didn't get down the track. Saturday they didn't get down the track. And Bob said, we came here, and he said, John and Zip told him, okay, we're changing everything. And he said, what? He said, we've been to the last 2 final rounds. And he said, yeah, but we finally figured out, what the thing missing was the way we've been trying to run the car, because they kept going back, and we know this will go down the track, and we got to go down the track. He said, so we're changing everything. And Bob said, okay, if you're sure. So then it doesn't work Friday. It doesn't work Saturday. He kind of brought him back into it and said, are you guys sure about this? And they said, no, 1 run. We just need 1 run. So then it goes out there Saturday afternoon and runs 3.875. Okay. And then they came up first round and ran 387.5. Second round ran 387.5. Okay, so they definitely had a very happy car in Sonoma, and they, Mike Neff is he's kind of like Grubnick, he's kind of like Jimmy. He's never pumping his fist in the air. He's never like walking around with his lip on the ground. He's always just kind of even keel, because he knows you're only as good as your last run. And okay, we just set the record, but what I got to run again in an hour, and I'm already thinking about that. But he certainly looked like he had a little more confidence, maybe just a little extra bounce in the step walking off the starting line. Like, I've been looking for this. I've been working on this, and there it is. I knew it was there, and there it is. So I think it's a matter of, can you repeat? Leah went up and ran good in Denver. And everybody says, okay, well, it's Denver. It's kind of a one-off. It's kind of, what are you going to do? And then she comes out, qualifies number 1. And yeah, they didn't get the result they wanted on Sunday, but I think you can see that car is going in the right direction. Bob's been to 2 finals, and then now he finally wins 1. So I think his car has been going in the right direction. Can he keep up that performance barrage? when it gets hotter and when the track temperature's up, and we're going to find out, I think, this weekend, because it's going to be a little bit warmer. And my understanding is it's not like it's going to be, oh my God, we're all dying from the heat, but it certainly isn't going to be 75 degrees.
Right. It'll be interesting to see. And first time we've been there since 2019, as you said. So, changes and the track and notes and tune-ups since then. Things have evolved. So it'll be fun to watch. John Force, just want to mention John. John was trying for the big father-daughter double-up deal. Again, came up a little bit short. Talked to him in the winner's circle. John he's funny, right? Because he's like, oh, man, I'm old, right? I'm old. But Tasca said such great things in the media center. I hope everyone gets a chance to see that, because Tasca was kind of trained by Force. And he goes, that guy taught me what he knows, because I was a team with him, with Ford and all of that. He trained me. So I know him. I feel like I know him better than anybody. And he goes, that's why I got a great record against him, because of that. But he wanted everybody to understand something. A lot of people, Force, he's old. Force, that he goes, that to encapsulize it all, that man is superhuman. That's what he is. He's superhuman. I know how hard it is for me out here in this fire suit, being strapped in. You can't breathe. You got all these challenges, all these things you think about during a day. And he goes, and he's got it times a multiple, and he's 73 years old. People need to recognize that John Force is a superhuman, and that's how he should be thought of. And, I agree. I agree completely. He forced another final round. Car was good. Qualifying stunk. No big deal. Takes out caps, goes to the final, loses in a good race, right? Just comes up short. But, the fans on the track walk, you saw it. I could not find a person that wasn't rooting for John Force. I was trying. Looking right. You, Force. You, Force. How about you, Force? Young, Force. Old, Force. Middle age, Force. Everybody was rooting for Force. They got to see him go to the final round. He didn't quite win, but Max Force runs on the day for John.
Yeah, Sunday they really flipped the switch, because that thing in qualifying sucked. I mean, he was number 15, and the only reason he was number 15 is because there wasn't more cars there. There were 16 for the full field, but if there would have been 20 cars there, he would have been spectator. They just didn't get down the racetrack. But speaking with Danny on Sunday morning, I said, and he said, well, everything finally worked. He said, we hit the gas the first run, it puts the cylinder out. We hit the gas second run, it shakes the tires. He said, we didn't do anything different. Everything just finally worked. And I think they're feeling pretty good about their car most of the time. It's still a little, it'll jump up with an inconsistent run or two here or there from time to time that Robert doesn't seem to have. But John's got a good car when they're on. They just need to, if they can get rid of those inconsistencies, then he's going to be right up there, I think, in front of the pack also.
Yeah, right in the mix. It was a good day of racing, a lot of fun in funny car. Let's do pro stock now. Erica, Greg in the final round, but Greg changed engines, and I was kind of thinking, maybe they've got something experimental under the, cabinet under there that they're breaking out, got a couple more horsepower. Talked to a couple people who are like, nah, man, we blew one in the semifinals. This is just the next engine. Erica just flat dominated. That was what went down out there. Her toughest matchup was going to be Aaron Stanfield. He had a rev limiter line lock situation on the starting line, rolled through the beam, as happened before. And by the way, to those people, there's a couple people, right there. No way in the world Aaron Stanfield's letting that happen. No way. Erica just flat dominated this race.
Well, she certainly had the best car. But on Sunday, she was better than most of the time. I found it fascinating that after she lost lane choice, because every pro stock car in the first two rounds took the left lane, and after she lost lane choice, she ended up over on the right side of the racetrack. She earned lane choice back in the final round and stayed on the right side of the racetrack. And so one thing, I think, that should tell everybody that a lot of the lane choice is almost monkey see, monkey do, right? If all the fast cars are going in the left lane, you're going to have more winners in the left lane. And if I just won in the left lane, I'm going back in the damn left lane. I'm not going to make a change at that point. But when Erica came up and went down the right lane and ran as well as she did, they came up in the final and said, you know what, we're going back in the lane where we just won, and it ended up working out for them. She did, blow up another engine in the final. So there's been some carnage over there at the elite camp. They've been fast. They've been, winning races and taking trophies home for the most part. But there has been some carnage over there. And, boy, this guy's the engine shop. It's got to be burning the midnight dyno gas, trying to keep all of this stuff going and get it all back together. Because, Bo hurt one and Aaron hurt one last week. And Erica in the final with what was supposedly a brand new engine. They said coming in here We took the engine out of our car, put it in Aaron's car. We've got a brand new one in our car, and it blew up. So, she was fortunate that she was out in front far enough that she won the race, even though she was down 12 miles an hour. And Greg's going to be kicking himself for the end of time, because that was a really bad time to have his worst reaction time of the weekend when he couldn't capitalize, even though she broke. I thought the most interesting stat in the whole thing was that final round was the 47th time that they have run head-to-head. So they've run 46 times before that. You know what the record was between them?
It was even, right? 23
and 23. And this was the 7th time they'd raced in the final. You know what the record is in the finals? 3 and 3. So, Erica is now up 1 on both sides, and Greg certainly is going to be thinking about the one that got away. He qualified second. He had a solid car all day. He was a tick behind Erica all day, but he had a solid car all day. And the final round was winnable, and he let it get away. That's what's going to eat on him a little bit until we get to the next time.
Yeah, pushing up against that 100 and had not a great reaction time. I think it was in the 40s. Ford has got a question, and I think you kind of touched on it. Are they running Pro Stock motors on the Edge? It seems like more engines are blowing this year than ever before. And the answer is yes, right? Like we've had a lot of engine explosions, failures, all teams, right? They have to be on the ragged edge.
Well, Pro Stock, and we've talked about it before, Pro Stock follows a pattern over the years, okay? You find out that, hey, if we make this widget 2 grams lighter, it'll rev up a little bit better. Okay, then let's make it 3 grams lighter. Okay, then we'll make it 4 grams lighter. Okay, let's make it 5 grams. Now they break. And so, the first one breaks and it's a fluke. And the second one breaks and it's like, man, the third one breaks and, okay, maybe we need to go back to making them 4 grams instead of 5 grams. And so you find a way to either strengthen the part or you give back a little bit of a performance advantage. And it really appears, and I can't say for sure that, everything is, all of their failures are the same thing. I know Erica's, the wrist pin thing that they had in Bristol was kind of an anomaly. But, they are breaking a lot of engines. Of course, on the other hand, they're powering 7 race cars out there. So they got a lot of engines out there also. And if you have, 2 failures a year running your car, is that a lot? Probably not.
Right.
Well, if you're running 7 cars and each car has 2 failures a year, it seems like an epidemic. So that I think weighs into the equation as well. But over the years, there have definitely been a lot of times when somebody would get onto something, it would be a performance advantage, but it would shorten the lifespan a little bit, and then you go back to work and try to figure out, can we keep the advantage and get it to live, or do we have to give back the advantage because we can't afford to break an engine every 5 or 6 runs?
And I don't know. I think Elite can't afford to break an engine every 5 or 6 runs.
Not with 7 cars.
Yeah,
nobody can afford that.
Right.
Nobody can afford that.
But
plus, you can't get parts.
Right. But they're doing pretty well out there. Obviously, got 300 on the field in qualifying. Great weekend for Erica. And going into Seattle, and she had never won Sonoma, and she was super excited about that. But I think on Sunday, though, the win that everybody loved the most, the one that was the most popular, was this guy, Joey Gladstone. This photo was sent to me by Jack from Cycle Drag, Jack Corpula from Cycle Drag. He says, use it. This is the first photo I ever took of Joey Gladstone, and now Joey is an NHRA national event winner. And we've been saying it, right? The next first-time winner is going to be Joey Gladstone. The racing gods made him wait, though. And then they gave him
what do you think we've been saying it?
You said it recently, Alan, but I had said it long before you even thought it. And everybody on WFO knows. We've been talking.
I thought you went with McGahey when we had this conversation 3 weeks ago.
Oh, man. 3 weeks ago, yeah, but Gladstone came into the sport. I said, this guy's the next big thing. The Gator Nationals. Joey Gladstone.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Now you're going to go on to being the guy that said, "Well, I said in 1972 they should go to 1,000 feet for the nitro cars. They finally listened to me. It was my idea first."
No, it was Garlett's idea, and it happened. And I've told that story many times too. How Garlett's told me long before they went to 1,000 foot that they were, and they did. So, but regardless, Joey Gladstone, he did not have to be the Swami to see this one coming, because he had been in the final a couple of times, but he finally broke through. A little hole shot victory over Eddie, who had been a mentor to him along the way. and the monkey off the back syndrome, right? Like, can I do this? Oh man, why are they making me wait so long? What the heck? The thing that happened when Cory got hurt last year with Angel, the switch, bike going dead, all of those moments finally exercised, and now Joey Gladstone is a winner, and everybody is just, I think everybody was super happy. And Eddie wasn't happy to lose, but Eddie was still happy for Joey.
Well, Vance and Hines still won. That's their engine that's in that bike, and they've worked with those guys very closely. Everything about that program. Vance and Hines has helped them out with anything they needed, so they're certainly happy that Joey finally broke through. They don't want him to go win, the next 6, but they're happy he got his first one. Yeah, that's on stage, which is if you haven't been to a national event in a while, that's something we've been doing now at every stop on tour. We roll the stage out in the middle of the racetrack, invite the fans to come down and surround it, and then introduce the champions down there. You're right, though. It was a very popular win. He, like Tasca, had been the last 2 final rounds that got sent away, and he, like Tasca, this time was just not going to be denied. So I think it's, all right, he's over there, and I love how Michael Phillips has been, such a big part of that thing, because Michael is a guy, if you hang around Michael Phillips, and we bust each other's chops until the end of time, but if you hang around Michael Phillips, he's not going to let you overthink things. He's not going to let you get too serious. He's not going to let you, he's a guy that is going to keep you focused on what you need to be without letting you fall down a rabbit hole. He's going to keep it light. He's going to keep it fun. He's going to keep everybody in a good mood. And I really think that, is a part of the success. The teams that win on a regular basis are the teams that are having fun, the teams that are enjoying being around everybody, the teams, you don't go to work in the morning going, you go to work going, all right, I got everybody's back and everybody's got my back, and Michael Phillips is that kind of guy. And I hope he's not watching. He's
not watching right now. I'm like, has Alan Reinhart given Michael Phillips all kinds of credit for doing good stuff? Was this happening? Should we continue airing this? Don't worry, Alan. I don't think Michael is out there watching. You guys have got a great back and forth. He keeps telling you to eat a Twinkie, and he's putting an effort. I got to get Reinhart. I got to get him. I got to figure out how to get Reinhart. It's oh my gosh, Michael, is it really like this? Alan, is it really like that?
All in fun. But yeah, he's a good dude, but if he's picking on you, I think it's because he likes you. I think he likes me. He's never throwing a rock at me, but he's throwing a lot of jabs at me, and I'm going to throw him right back. So I think, like I say, he just, when he came in, and whenever that was, oh my goodness, driving Harry Lartigue's bike, 90s, early 2000s, he was, 135 pounds of sass and attitude. Get out of my way, I'm going to win races, and he did it. And then, went away for a while and came back, and he certainly hasn't lost his sass and attitude, but, fun guy to be around, and a good guy. He knows so much about the motorcycles, he can help with every aspect. And he's also a guy that's going to make sure that everybody's attitude stays straight, and that nobody, he's not going to let Joey go over and sit in a corner and go, okay, I got to do this, He's going to keep him light, keep him upbeat.
Up. It says, hey, fat boy, is what it says.
Right.
It says, hey, fat boy. So there it is. Michael Phillips is there.
For those who don't know, okay, when Michael Phillips went on vacation, wherever he went, I don't know, jail or something for 6 years, he showed back up in Indy at the Indy Championship Series when we were coming out of COVID. Hadn't seen him in forever. And so I walked down over to his trailer, and I walked over and I said, hey, good to see you. And he said, man, have you put on a bunch of weight? And I thought, not even high? Not even high? So that's what kind of started it. And it's all right, if that's the way you want to play, I can do this. And so we've been kind of snarking at each other ever since. But
no, he's a personal favorite of mine as well. Good guy. And I like that kind of chatter. Michael knows how to do it, right, without being hateful. He knows how to be fun and pick at you and talk trash while having a smile on his face, and that it's coming from a good place, all in fun. That's what
he's also a guy, though, that is a competitor. If you're somebody that lets somebody get in your head, he knows how to get there. He'll talk smack, and some people in competitive environment, that stuff gets to them. That's why athletes do it at every level. If you're dealing with somebody who's just dead focused on task at hand, I don't think you're getting Matt Smith's head. I don't care if you had him covered by 2 tenths. I don't think you're getting Matt Smith's head. He just doesn't allow anybody. But there are people out there in competition, in all forms of competition, that start overthinking, that start to, and Michael's a guy who can get you out of your rhythm like that. So you just got to make sure that you don't let him in if you're competing against him or if you're competing against his team.
All right, great job. Final thoughts on Sonoma, and then let's look ahead to Seattle for a moment or two. I felt like it was a great race all around, total success, great crowd. We didn't announce sellouts or anything. A tremendous race.
It was. We had good weather, and give us good weather, we'll put on a good show. There wasn't a whole lot of downtime. I think if there was a fan that was there for the first time and didn't like it, like I put on Twitter afterwards, don't come back, because if that was your first NHRA experience and you didn't think this is cool, I can't tell you it's going to be better next time, especially Sunday. Just the way it went. Fast runs, bang, 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 making it all happen. And then, looking at some of the guys that won in the sportsman categories as well. Tanner finally getting it done after his brother's been picking on it for so long. Jody Lang again, right? I mean, you look at some of those, you got into the late rounds in some of those things, and it's like, okay, well, you expect to see this guy, you expect to see this guy, you expect to see this. How about Toby Payne making the final? I thought that was pretty cool as well. But it was just a really solid race, I thought, from top to bottom.
Yes, top to bottom. It was great. A lot of WFO listeners out there in the stands and pull me over. It was great to see, and thank you to all of them. Seattle, though. Okay, so the next two races, right? Because you're going to Joliet after that. That's the following week, correct? Yep. We need packed houses here, guys. I don't always try to cheerlead the fans to go buy tickets, but Seattle, we haven't seen you in a long time. I will be shocked.
I think Seattle will be fine.
Yeah, I hope so too. But this race out there at Joliet, a lot of people were asking me about that track. Is it coming back? And it was like, look, man, people got to go to the race. They got to go to the race. NASCAR has announced a street race in Chicago, so that pretty much tells me that the round track in Chicago is done for. They're already moving on with their deal. But the drag strip can be saved by the drag race fans who show up to see Alan Reinhart in a couple of weeks. I'm bringing it up now, so you have a couple of weeks to do it. Alan, give them the details. That's right in the middle of the country. It's worth a several-hour drive to save a drag strip by showing up for a divisional race.
Well, it's the weekend, like you just said. It's the weekend after Seattle. I think it's the 5, 6, 7 of August. It's going to be a big regional. We're going to have outfall cars there will be the headliner, so top speed will be 280 miles an hour-ish. And there's been a lot of interest. You look what Division 3 did. They just ran a double at Columbus and had 130 stock cars and 99 super stock cars. I hope every single one of them comes to Chicago, because that'll be a nice start. And I hope everybody else does as well. We have an opportunity, we being the racing community, to show NASCAR, because they're the ones who own that track. The racetrack, the drag strip is a viable entity. Okay, open it back up and you can generate some income. It's worth saving. I don't know what's going to happen with the round track. I don't know how the Chicago street race is going to go. Okay, I wish NASCAR all the best. I have a lot of friends that make a living over in that world. But the drag strip is a separate entity, and whatever is going on at the oval track, the drag strip is worth saving. We just have to go show NASCAR, hey, look, this is what we do at a regional event. And I know everybody here is a drag racer, but I'm planning to speak to Dave Moody about this at some point, either this week or first of next week on Sirius XM Radio, and tell them, the NASCAR fan, think of this as an Xfinity race. If you want a cup race to come to your place, you need to come support the Xfinity Series. If you want a national event to come back to Chicago, come out and support the Lucas Series. Will and I have been talking. We're gonna do some fun stuff out there. We're gonna do a few things that are a little bit out of the ordinary. Just stuff that we're gonna be having fun with. Stuff that hopefully the racers will find entertaining, and hopefully the fans can get behind as well. But if we go out there and we put a good foot forward and show NASCAR, the drag strip is viable. We need to have this race be at least successful enough that they think, maybe we should try a national event again. Let's give it a shot. And that's exactly why we're going there. That's what we're hoping to accomplish with this thing. And, the way that we've been losing tracks the last couple of years, there ain't a whole lot of new ones being built right now, but that's a really nice track that's sitting there not being used. Let's go convince the people that own it that they need to unlock the gates and let us come race there.
That's it. As simple as that. And bring signs. Like I always say that, bring signs. You see a bunch of people walking around, whatever. One of them has a sign that says, thank you. it makes a difference. It just makes a difference. That's why people make signs. Bring signs, guys. And Alan's going to have fun. Will Tharp's going to be there. It's going to be great. I'm hoping all our racers go. I know there's some tough competition that weekend as well. But saving a drag strip, that's what you might be doing. So go to that one. All right, Alan.
I sure hope so. Yeah, I'm already. Matter of fact, when I get off here, I got to go check in for my flight. So I'm headed out tomorrow, and I will see you in Seattle.
All right, way to go! I'm glad we made it through with all the lightning going on out here. We made it through. Great job, Alan. Thank you.
And I got my trash emptied, which is even more important.
What an eventful show, right? If that doesn't make you want to subscribe, Joe dodging lightning bolts. Reinhardt's got a dumpster being emptied. This is like organic as it gets, right? People don't like overproduced stuff. You got it. That's what WFO is. Thank you, Alan.
See ya.
Later. There he goes. The voice of the NHRA, Alan Reinhart, joins us each week right here on WFO Radio. And I want your comments in the comments section, your predictions for the Flavor Peck Northwest Nationals and all that stuff, whatever you want to say. Maybe I met you out there at the track. That was cool too. But I got one more video I want to share. One more video I want to share, assuming everything works, because it's been real sketchy out there, which I felt like this was kind of a fun moment. These guys are just nuts. So I'm going to give you Courtney Enders, which we got to get Courtney back on the show for one of our happy hours. And Jason Logan, the Low Zone, is going to be on. Low Zone's on Twitter, by the way, now. Jason Logan is on Twitter. He's recreated a Twitter account for the Low Zone. And so, but these guys are part of Sonoma. This is a Sonoma moment coming at you. Sonoma moment. All right, we're capturing a moment here. We're capturing a moment. This is just one of these moments that happens in the winter circle. What's going on there? Courtney, what's happening?
This is a Sonoma special. These boys have been here. Oh, apparently I'm flagging on my job.
Go get in there.
These boys have been here forever.
I feel like they multiplied this year, too. They did. There's more. All right, this has been a Sonoma moment. A Sonoma moment. Like those dudes, man, there's more and more of them each year. Like, who are these guys? What are they doing? They love drag racing. They show up at Sonoma every year, and they are they are hysterical and also a little weird. It's like, your friend comes to you. I've got an idea. Well, really? What's the idea? Let's do this. Yeah, I'm in. And then you're recruiting other friends. There's 2, there's 4, there's 6, and they're all there. It's good stuff. It was very fun. Everyone very emotional in the winner circle. Great times. Now, some of our listeners have taken it upon themselves to tell you, other listeners in the chat section, to like, especially on YouTube, and comments on YouTube. They've been helping a lot. It helps a lot. I can see the difference. The shows that people get actual comments on the YouTube video and likes and shares, they end up with way more views. We're trying to grow the YouTube channel, but we're also on the book. We're on the F book. We're in the groups. We're in our pages. We're on Twitter. We're everywhere with this show. Of course, the WFOradio.com website is still rocking, and we love that. But we are trying to grow that YouTube presence. So any shares and all that stuff. And at the end, like and share and subscribe and click the bell, all that. Hopefully you all know that. Yeah, Scott doesn't like it. He says that is not WFO. It is not. Look, I'm not being judgmental. I think they're interesting characters. They're definitely getting a lot of pub. But what I think is that it's, I don't know. It's very patriotic. They definitely, technically, you're not supposed to wear the flag. Technically, you're not supposed to wear the flag. But whatever. They're gaining attention for people. And they're out at the drags and they love the races. All right, so let's get some comments in the comment section, guys. And I'll tell you about the people who make WFO possible for a second, like our Patreons. Oh, my goodness, the Patreons. We were supposed to do an ignition show last night, but I got extreme delayed. I was supposed to be home at 6 p.m. I got home at like 10:30 p.m. Thunderstorms in Charlotte had us grounded on the tarmac for several hours. It was not fun. And it seems like the thunderstorms followed me here. The way things are going out there. But if you want to become a Patreon, I mean, a VIP listener, a behind the scenes, a member of WFO, go to patreon.com/WFO Radio. And everybody that's on there, they seem to love it. We try to do extra stuff for them, and Indy and Vegas. And now the Stampede of Speed. I'm going to be down there at the Stampede of Speed all week. We're going to tell you how to get free tickets. It's going to be great. But join us on our Patreon group. It's going to be pretty spectacular. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure. This is one where I love telling you about Frank and Lana Hawley because they're doing something that's important to me. you cannot go to an NFL game and then become a football competitor, right? Like you can go catch a football and you can like play football in the streets, but you can't go out and become a competitive football. It's kind of rare unless you're like young athlete. Whereas in drag racing, you actually can go watch John Force and then go to Frank Hawley's drag racing school. And in a couple of months, find yourself in NHRA competition. That's a real thing. And it's got to start somewhere. They've got licensing programs, but they have something called the Dragster Adventure, which is the most basic of days. It's an experience for the adrenaline junkie. If you like speed, you want to give it a try. You've got a fast street car. You want to drive a dragster. They may let you make 3 runs, 1 half track and 2 full track passes. They'll even set up a race for you. You and your friends can go spend the day with Frank. They travel all around the country. They go to different racetracks with this program. So go to frankhawley.com to find out more information. And who knows, maybe you'll become the next big competitor out there in the NHRA, or at very least understand the racers a whole lot more. samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Always say it, start your education at full speed, right? Start your education. What does it mean? If you want to become a machinist, if you want to become an engine builder, if you want to become a motorsporty FI tuner, like one of those guys with the laptop, Samtech can get you started. CNC programmer for SpaceX. You can get started at Samtech. So go to the website, call Brian Massengill, and tell him you heard about it on WFO Radio. Appreciate that. And then there's Marvin Rodak. Today, I was so happy. You know, you get in the hotel rooms, those like little packs of coffee, and they're better than nothing, but they're definitely not Rodak's. 817-924-6821. There was a kid at the Winner's Circle. I don't know if he was a kid. He's a guy. He listens to WFO. He's like, is Rodak's really as good as you say? I was like, you know, it's the kind of thing. Is nitro drag racing really as good as you say when you tell your friends? And then you're in the same situation. Like, you can use all these words and bust out the hyperbole, and they either believe you or they don't. They either come to the track once or they don't. And that's what it is with Rodak's. It's better. It's great. The experience, calling Marvin, getting the education, being able to ask and order specific blends from different countries, from different regions. That's all part of it. 817-924-6821. Now, I'm going to see him up again in Seattle. And he's like, all right, I'm going to get some Rodak's. And that's where we're at. You all know what it's like to try to tell someone about a nitro car, and then they either believe you or they don't, or they can't. You don't have the vocabulary. Well, you know, your spleen is shaking, and this coffee is better. And also connecting with Marvin and going through the grills and the hot sauce and the spice rubs and the recipes. It's just great. It's worth it. 817-924-6821. Definitely more expensive. Definitely more expensive. It's one of those things. You know, you got to prioritize what's important to you. Rodak's coffee. We have so many of our listeners that once they start to enjoy it, they realize that this is something that's been lacking in their lives. Simple as that. Big thanks to Bernie's Speed Shop for coming on board. We're going to be learning a lot more about Bernie's and telling you a lot more about Bernie's. But if you have got a restoration project that is about to go down, you got to call these guys. Yeah, my local guy, you know, but in the end, who does your restoration project makes a huge difference to the value of the restoration project. Let's say 10 years, you're going to roll it across the block at one of these auctions. Bernie's Speed Shop. They've got the rep. Go to Bernie's.com, like them on Facebook, follow along. We'll be learning together. Phillips Connect. Phillips Connect had so many people in the house. Mr. Epler was in the house. They got big programs planned, as this program with Justin Ashley is working so well. If you're in the transportation industry, if you're looking for smart trailer technology, get on board with Phillips Connect. Go to phillips-connect.com. Total Seal piston rings. Just listen to the most recent episode of Hidden Horsepower. Do that immediately, like right after this show. Ed Keebler from Rottler. If you're an engine guy, you got to know this guy. He is offering his advice and help even to people who are not using their machines, which is amazing. But this weekend, Rottler are going to be on the side of Hartford's car again at their home race. They're going to have over 80 people in attendance. And you get all the information. Plus, we got 2 trackside tech talks, Friday and Saturday. Going to be great. And FTIperformance.com. Paul Lee running better. Came up short in the first round in this one, but this is a project that nothing happens overnight in the NHRA. The good news is, for you automatic transmission folks, FTI is already where they need to be, as in winning just about everything or contending for wins everywhere that matters. Big money bracket races, .90 races, top sportsman, top dragster, pro mod. Give them a call. Go to the website. Tell them you heard about it here on WFO Radio. And our WFO store, it's rocking out pretty good. Go to the website, T-shirts and mugs and all of that stuff, and you can still get free stickers. The address is up there. All right, let's see what people have to say before we bounce on out of here. And I really appreciate all you guys hanging with us. Started this show in the middle of a wicked lightning storm, and I'm not afraid of it, but I'm afraid the power is going to go out. And I do have battery backups, but internet and certain other things, always a little bit of a challenge. So we'll see. All right, let's see what people have to say out there. Monica, fun show today. Thank you, Monica. Appreciate you. Josh is a good guy. Josh Hart, yeah, real good guy. And very serious about his program. Like, not joking around. Like, watch this thing. Keep coming along. Elite and Erica Enders is a bullet train. Pro Stock Dreams. They really are. I don't know who's going to be the big rival. Greg is a couple of ticks behind. That's very challenging. And I get what Alan is saying. But if I'm Greg, like, they got to find a little more power. Because when Erica can gap the field by 2.5 hun, what are you going to do with that? She can go 20 at will for the most part. Like, a bad light for Erica is a 30. So if you're 2 hun behind, you got to be 10 or better. That's really hard to do. You know, a couple weeks ago, Mason did it, but you can't count on it. Never judge a dude, striping for cash. And racing ain't cheap. Those guys, do they have race cars? Then it's worth it. Are they getting paid? I don't think so. Torrence, Hagan, Erica. Hagan needs a bounce back week, right? Like those guys. When was the last time Matt Hagan got bounced first round twice in a row? I can't think of it. 11 months from flanks class to the semifinals. Is that really what went down, Troy? Is that it? That's a great story. Troy, who has got the domestic dispute Camaro in Oregon, went to Frank's, and 11 months later, he's in the semifinals of a drag race, built a car. Wow, way to go, Troy. I kind of forgot that element. You can with the Jaguars. I think that's a... Be watching and then be playing. Yeah, I guess you can. Patreon, the way to go. Lonnie, was that 3 Dog Night? Yeah, those guys. WFO, BT3, 0.875. Thanks, Joe. Good show. Yeah, guys, appreciate all of you. Everybody out there at Sonoma that said something nice. A lot of people pulled me over and says they watch and listen to the show. And thank you. You know, this is drag racing talk, right? Every once in a while, something funny will happen. Something weird will happen. I really love those videos at the start of the show. So share it, please. We're to the point where I can ask for it. Great show. We learned so much. For Seattle, Brittany, John, Erica, Angel. Holly's is excellent. Hey, does it really matter when they wipe off the tires? Yes, otherwise they wouldn't do it. I think it's more of an exercise of like feeling the tires and just making sure that there's nothing there. They do everything for a reason. If there was no reason to do it, they wouldn't do it. Think about throttle wax, right? They're very popular. I was in Palmer's pit and there was a crowd of 300 people just waiting and waiting and waiting for those throttle wax. So no reason to do it. They don't do it. So it matters. Piece of debris or something on the tire, you get it off. I knew you know. Yeah. Simple as that. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate all of you. WFO Universe. The archive is loaded. Remember that Total Seal podcast. Go listen to this one. It's Ed Keebler from Rottler. You're going to learn a lot, but you're going to hear about the big open house tomorrow. Hartford's car is going to be set up there. They're going to fire it up. It's going to be a much, lower key experience. But then come out to the race. Trackside Tech Talks, 2 of them. Whole lot of fun. No bikes. No bikes. Yeah. Did somebody pick a bike? Yeah, Angel. No bikes. Which is a bit of a bummer. I wish they'd do the full swing, but they got to take some races off, right? All right, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate all of you. Thanks to all our guests, Brittany and Erica and Courtney and Joey and Big Dave and Cory Reed and BT3 and Cameron and everybody. Appreciate you all. WFO.